Welcome back, lovely students, for a new math lesson. Today we are going to talk about multiplication properties at page 15. Again, the title is Multiplication Properties. The importance of multiplication properties are help you in mental math skills and help you in general multiplication skills. And we should also learn a new word, which is product. Product is the answer of the multiplication. Again, the answer of the multiplication called product. Let us learn the multiplication properties. The first one is the commutative property. Again, the commutative property. When you hear about commutative property, you have to think to move. What's the meaning of this? Let us learn together. The commutative property means when two numbers are multiplied together, the product is the same regardless of the order of the factors. It means, for example, if you have 7 times 5 equals 5 multiplies by 7 or times 7. Look, when two numbers are multiplied together, like 7 times 5, the product, this is the product, which is the answer of the multiplication, is the same regardless of the order of the factors. What's the meaning of factor? 7 is a factor, 5 is a factor, so the two numbers that are multiplied together, they are the factors, okay? So 7 is a factor and 5 is a factor. So if we say 7 times 5, is it equal to 5 times 7? Why? Because 7 times 5 equal 35 and 5 times 7 also equal 35. So this is an example of the commutative property, okay? We move the factors, we move the numbers, okay? Okay, we move the place of the numbers, so always commutative, you have to think to move. Let's talk about the second one, which is the associative property. Again, the associative property, you have to think of group. What's the meaning of that? When 3 or more numbers are multiplied, the product is the same regardless of the order of the factors. Again, 2 is a factor, 3 and 4 are, all these are factors, okay? Factors means numbers, okay? So, look, if we have, for example, 2 times 3 between brackets times 4. We can, okay, reorder the factors. We can put the brackets between the 3 and 4 like this. And put the 2 outside the bracket. It will give us the same answer. Let's check this. The first problem is 2 times 3. This is the first step we should do it, which is 6 times 4. 6 times 4 equals, excellent, 24. Let's check this. Look, we put 2 outside and put the brackets between the 3 and 4, like this. Look, let's do it. 2, here it is, times 3 times 4, which is equal 12. 2 times 12 equals 24. So they are the same. The third one is the distributive property. The distributive property. The product of a number multiplied by another number equals the sum of the products of the first number multiplied by each of the add-ins of the second number. Okay, students, forget about these three sentences. I'm gonna tell you what the meaning of the distributive property. I want to give you an example to explain what the meaning of this property. For example, if we have 6 times 15, look, the property say, look at the 15. We're gonna break it down into 10 plus 5, right? Because here, look at the 15, the green color here. What the place value of 1 is 10, right? And the place value of 5 is 5. So here 15 equals to 10 plus 5, right? And put them between brackets, which is an important step, and multiply it by 6 here. Just copy the 6 here. So again, I put the 6 here as it is. Don't change anything with it. Then break the 15 down into 10 plus 5, because 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. Now, this side equal to this side. How? Look, we're gonna solve this and check our answer. How to solve this? The first thing, multiply 6 by 10. Look, 6 by 10 or times 10, and write it here, 6 times 10, and don't forget to put them between brackets. Then put a plus sign, which is here, then multiply the 6 again to the 5. 6 times 5. I'm gonna do it again. 6 times 10. 6 times 5. And put a plus sign between between them. Like when we enter the 6 to this bracket. Then solve the two brackets. 6 times 10, which is 60, plus 6 times 5, 30. 60 plus 30, which is 90. Okay, so solving this problem is much easier than solving this. This problem, we can solve it mentally, right? Because 6 times 10, we can do it mentally, right? Mentally means inside our brain without using papers. We all know that 6 times 10 equals 60, and 6 times 5 is equal 30. And we can add 60 plus 30 together mentally, which is 90. So it is much easier than do this mentally. Let's move to the fourth property. Which is the multiplicative identity property. The multiplicative identity property. This property say that the product of any number multiplied by 1 is the same as the original number. Easy, which means 1 times 9 equals 9. 230 times 1 equals 230. So any number, when we multiply it by 1, it will give us the same number. This is the multiplicative identity property. The final one, the last one, which is the multiplication property of 0. The multiplication property of 0, which is the product of any number multiplied by 0 is 0. This is the product. I want to just remind you what the meaning of the product. This is the product, which is the answer of the multiplication. Multiplication means this, okay? This operation. 15 times 0 equals 0. 1280 times 0 equals 0. So when we multiply any number with 0, it will give us always 0. Always give us 0, okay? So the product of any number multiplied by 0 is always 0. This is the multiplication property of. And now let us do another examples. Okay, an example of the commutative property. Again, commutative, you have to think move. Okay, not the meaning of commutative means move. No, when you learn the commutative property, you have to think to move the numbers. Okay, for example, if you have 3 times 5 equals 15, right? So this is a factor and this is a factor. We can rewrite these two numbers or reorder these two numbers by this. 3 times 5, we can do it like 5 times 3, which is equal 15. Look, they are the same. So 3 times 5 equals 5 times 3. This is the commutative property. To the second example about the associative property. Okay, when we learn about the associative property, you have to think to group. Again, I'm going to give you an example. For example, if we have 9 times 4 between brackets times 25, as you can see. If you take a look at this problem, we cannot do it mentally, right? Because it's somehow difficult. So the associative property or grouping the numbers again help us to do this problem mentally, okay, without using papers. Look, because 9 times 4 equals 36, right? Times 25 here, okay? So we cannot do the answer again or the product mentally. We can use or help the associative property help us to do it mentally. We can group the numbers by like this. Put the 9 here and put the brackets between the 4 and 25. Don't forget to put the multiplication sign, okay? Look, now we can use our mental math because we can do this first. 4 times 25, which is equal 100, right? Because everyone know that 25 times 4 equals 100. And then multiply it by 9. Can you do it mentally? Excellent. 9 times 100 equals 900. So do this exercise much easier than this. So the associative property help us to do the calculation mentally, okay? Look, we group the numbers again. We put the brackets between the 4 and 25 as you can see. Here the answer is 900 and so this is the answer here is 900. Another example about the identity property. For example, 45 times 1 equals 45, 78 times 1 equals 78. Any number multiplies by 1 equals the same number. Okay, the zero property, any number multiplies by 0 always equals to 0. For example, 23 times 0 equals to 0. Let's do some examples in the distributive property of multiplication. The first example, 16 times 3. Look, the first step, break the 16 down into 10 plus 6. Why? Because the value of 1 here is 10 plus the value of 6 here is 6. So 16 equals 10 plus 6. Put them between brackets, so important, don't forget, times, put it here, and put the 3 here, okay? Just put it down. The second step is multiply 3 by these two numbers, like this. The first thing, 3 times 10, look, 3 times 10 equals 30. Plus, put it here, 3 times 6 equals 18. And then add two add-ins or two numbers together. 30 plus 18 equals 48. So this is the distributive property of multiplication. Another example, 47 times 5. Look at the first number, which is two-digit number, and break it down into 40 plus 7. Because the place value of 4 is 40, because it's in tens place. The value of 7 is 7. And put them between two brackets. Then multiply it with the 5, okay? Then multiply 5 with the two numbers here. Okay, let's do it together. 5 times 40. Look, 5 times 40. The first thing, multiply 5 times 4, which is 20. Then put here the 0. Can you see the 0? Put it in the answer, which is 200. So 5 times 40, 200. Then put the plus sign here. Then multiply 5 with the 7. 5 times 7 equals 35. Again, 5 times 40, 200, plus 5 times 7 equals 35. Then add these two numbers together, which is 235. We can do it mentally because 200 plus 35 equals 235. Another example, 38 times 6. Look at this number, which is two-digit number, and break it down into 30 plus 8, because the value of the 3 here is 30, and the value of 8 here is 8. So 38 equals to 30 plus 8, and put them between brackets, and multiply it by 6. Then multiply 6 by the two numbers. Let's do it. 6 times 30, which is 180. Why? Because 6 times 3, which is 18, right? And put this 0 to the answer next to 18, which is 180. Then plus 6 times 8. 6 times 8 equals 48. Then add these two numbers together, which is easy. 180 plus 48, which is 222. Got it? Yes. This much a little bit difficult, but the same concept. We have 512 times 4. Okay, break this down into three numbers. I want to remind you about the expanded form, if you remember. Okay, again, the place value of 5 is 500. The value of 1 is 10. The value of 2 is 2. So 512, we break it down into 500 plus 10 plus 2. This is the expanded form of the 512. We took it maybe in the secondary class, in the school. Okay, we did it before. And put them between brackets and multiply it by 4. Okay? And then multiply 4 to these three numbers. 4 times 500, which is 2000, because 4 times 5 equals 20. Then put these two zeros next to 20. It will become 2000. Plus 4 times 10, 40. 4 times 2, 8. And then add these three numbers together. 2000 plus 40 plus 8, which is 2048. Now open your book at page 15. We're going to solve this question. Fill in the missing numbers. Name the multiplication properties you used when solving. Look, listen to me. 1 times 8 equals 8. Easy. Which multiplication properties did we use? Excellent. The multiplicative identity property. Good job. Now, 2 times 4 between brackets times 5 equal 2 times between brackets number times 5. Look, we have 2, 4, 5. Yeah, so the missing number here is 4. Just we change the place of the brackets. Look, the first they between the 2 and 4, then we put it between the 4 and 5. What is the property is? Excellent. The associative property. Excellent. Now let's move to the third question. 6 times what times 5 equals 5 times 6 times 3. Good job. 3. So we move the numbers. Look, 6 times 3, times 5 equals 5 times 6 times 3. We move the numbers. So which property you have to think to move the numbers? Did you remember? Excellent. The commutative property. The commutative property. Good job. Let's do this. 9 times 5 equal to 5 times number plus 5. Look, we here order the numbers, okay, again, right? So the number here is 4, right? Why? Because 9 times 5 equal to 5 times, this is the 5 and this is the 5. So this bracket regard the 9, right? So what 5 plus what give me 9, which is 4. Excellent. This is the distributive property. Good job. Because we order the numbers or change the brackets between the numbers. Okay. 0 times 72 equals 2. Excellent. 0. This is the multiplication property of 0. The final one or the last one, which is 7 times 3 between brackets times 4 equal 7 times 3 times what, which is 4. What is the property? Can you tell me? Excellent. The associative property. Good job. Now we finished this lesson. Just I want to remind you about, this is the multiplication sign and this is the division sign. Multiplication, division. Now let's move to page 16, lesson 2. Relationships between multiplication and division. Now let's learn what are the relationships between multiplication and division. As you can see here, the flowers. Here we have 28 flowers. We can write the multiplication sentence by 4 multiplied by 7 equal 28, or 7 multiplied by 4 equal 28. These are the two multiplication sentences that we can rewrite using this picture or these flowers, okay? And if you can remember the commutative property, this, as I mentioned before, that I can write 4 times 7 or 7 times 4. It will give me the same answer each time. How to know the relationship between multiplication and division? Okay, so 28, if I divide 28 divided by 7, it will give me 4. Or 28 divided by 4, it will give me 7. This is the relationship between multiplication and division. Let's learn another examples to understand more in depth, okay? For example, write the fact family for each set. I will start from the candles, then the stars, then I will go back to these numbers, okay? So, if you can take a look at these candles, as you can see, horizontally there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 candles horizontally and 2 candles vertically. 1, 2. How to write the multiplication sentence? Yes, we gonna multiply 8 candles by 2 candles. It will give me the total number of candles. So 8 multiplied by 2 equal 16. Or 8 times 2 equals 16. There are 16 candles, as you can see. If you count them, yes, let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is how to know the total number of candles is by multiplied 8 times 2. And If you can remember again, I want to remind you by the commutative property. Again, this is the commutative property. Okay, I can put 8 times 2 or 2 times 8. It will give me 16. Okay, now what is the relationship between the multiplication and division? So 16 divided by 2 equals 8, or 16 divided by 8 equals 2. As you can see here, again, 16 divided by 2 equal 8. 16 divided by 8 equal 2. How do we know this? The 8, think, what is the number? If I multiply it by 2, it will give me 16, which is 8. Or what is the number if I multiplied it by 8, it will give me 16. Yes, it is the number 2. Or simply, students, look, these are 16 candles. If you can put, look, 16 divided by 2. If I put each 2 candles in one group, okay, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we made 8 groups. Each group contains 2 candles. So the answer is 2. And here, 16 divided by 8. If I put each 8 candles like this, these are 8 candles as you can see. And here 8 candles. Look, I will just put a circle here. Look, I put each 8 candles together because 16 divided by 8. Look, here's 8 candles and here's 8 candles. How many groups there are? Yes, it is 2 groups. So 16 divided by 8 equals 2. So this is the relationship between multiplication and division. Now let's move to the stars. As you can see, horizontally, there are 9 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And vertically, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So, how to know the total number of stars? Yes, excellent. To multiply 9 times 4. 9 times 4 equal 36. If you count them, it will give you 36 stars. And I can rewrite it in another way using the commutative property. Again, I want to remind you about the commutative property. I can write it 4 times 9 also equals 36. Look, 9 times 4 or 4 times 9, it will give me 36 each time. And now we're going to write the division sentence, okay? Look, as we mentioned before, 36 divided by 4 equal, excellent, 9. 36 divided by 9 equal 4. Good job. Again, 36 divided by 4 equal 9. 36 divided by 9 equal 4. So just try to group here. If you want to check your answer is if it is correct or not, try to do this, okay? The first thing, put each 4 stars in a circle. Yes. Then count how many groups did you do, okay? So, So, it will give you 9 groups. Then, try to put each 9 stars in one group and count how many groups you did. It will give you 4 groups. Got it? Now let's go back to this example. Look, there are 3 numbers, 3, 5, and 15. We're going to write the fact family. The fact family, it means to write the multiplication sentence and then the relationship between multiplication and division. Look, now take a look at these three numbers and to try to figure out what is the relationship between these three numbers. As you can see, if I multiply 3 by 5, it will give me 15. Look, 3 times 5 equal 15. Then I will write another multiplication sentence using the commutative property. Again, I will remind you about the commutative property. Here it is. Take a look at it. So I can rewrite it by 5 times 3. Also, it will give me 15. Then the relationship between division and multiplication is 15 divided by 5 equal 3. 15 divided by 3 equal 5. Okay, as you can see here. So I will give you a homework, students, to do these 4 questions. Yeah, these 4 clouds. So I want to give you a hint again. These are 3 numbers, 4, 8, 32. Try to multiply 4 times 8. It will give you 32. Then write another multiplication sentence using the commutative property. Then go ahead and write the relationship between multiplication and division. Yes, as we learned here. Then you can write another division sentence again as we mentioned here. Okay, so again, these 4 questions are homework for you to do this week. And next week we will talk about multiplication and division, and we will learn the multiplication tables, and we will talk about multiplication and division in depth, inshallah. So hope you enjoy the video and understand everything in this video, and thanks for watching.